Most dry fire systems are lying to you. They make you feel like you're training hard, but they're actually training you to fail because you're just repeating the same shot at the same wall. You're not training to think, you're not training to decide, and you're definitely not training to react under pressure. After years of being out of competition shooting, multiple surgeries, long recovery times, I needed more than just reps. So when my friends at Laser Ammo asked me to train with the i-MTTS Arena, I figured I'd try to work it into my comeback challenge. But what I got, I didn't expect. It exposed weak spots that had crept back into my shooting habit. Look, I recently shot a steel challenge match and boy was I rusty. This is the first time I've shot a match in years. And that's why I needed to take my dry fire a lot more serious. The i-MTTS Arena is built for simplicity, but don't confuse that with basic. It's a fully wireless system. No cords, no apps, no tangled mess to troubleshoot. Targets pair automatically the moment you power them on. Batteries are included, and each target base takes 3 batteries, as well as the controller. Since I have the i-MTTS Arena with 3 targets, that gives me 12 batteries in total. Word to the wise, grab a pack at Costco if you're serious about putting in the reps. I've trained in tight spaces and cluttered setups and, well, low light too, and 0 hiccups. It's clean, it's mobile, and it's as close to plug and play as you can get in dry fire. Now look, what's one dry fire habit you had to unlearn? Drop it in the comments down below as we build the Rogue Nation together. Trust me, this system pulled out a few that I thought I'd fixed. P0 is a really basic program. It's great if you're just starting off, testing out some new gear, or if you just want to pull the trigger. The controller will count all the hits for you. P1 is your basic plate rack. As you hit the targets, they'll go down, and when they're all down, you're done the string. You know, the really nice thing about the i-MTTS Arena is that you can add targets later. So that way, if you want a really nice long plate rack, you can go up to 10 targets. Another cool thing about the controller is you can get your splits and your elapsed time. Now P2 is chase the ball. It's randomly going to select a target, turn it green, and you shoot it. And then it's going to pick another one, and you just keep on going until you run out of shots. Now P3 is where things get really interesting. It's shoot, no shoot. It's going to throw up random greens, and when you throw a red, that is a no shoot. This is where decision making is really working its way into your training. Now I typically don't run these targets this close together. I have them wider apart, so that way you're working your peripheral vision. And if you shoot a no shoot, it's game over. If you really like P3, P4 is really going to work you because everything is double speed. My targets are usually at least 6 feet apart, and when I fall behind, I usually stay behind. Out of the box, P5 is your basic double tap drill. However, you can program it for more hits. On the surface, P6 looks like a double tap drill, but it actually is a timer. You take a shot, do whatever function you're going to do, and then take your second shot. Think mag reload or move the cover here. Now look, my training space isn't a sterile range or an empty garage. It's the studio here. It's 18 feet long by 11 feet wide. Well, it's packed with camera gear, benches, tools, a folded up rowing machine over there, as well as dog beds for Rogue and Magnum. It's tight, chaotic, but it's real. And that's exactly where I put the i-MTTS Arena to the test. You know, between rehab sessions, resistance training, cardio, mobility drills, everything that I'm going through to keep this body moving. Now, I thought I was shaking off the physical rust, but the Arena showed that I had mental rust as well. You know, hesitation on shoot, no shoot drills, slow draws, and late reactions on double speed drills. Now, the drills aren't impossible. It's just me. I'm a little slower and, well, a little less sharp than I used to be. And the Arena didn't sugarcoat it. It showed exactly what needed fixing. On program 3 and 4, which are my go-tos, I found myself reacting to just the thing flashing up, not the color. And on that drill, if you're behind, you're pretty much racing to catch back up, and that's where you can make a mistake. So it's testing my peripheral vision, making sure that I'm making split-second decisions based on a shoot or no shoot, which made all my time with the i-MTTS Arena just all that much better. And look, I didn't even read the directions when I first turned it on. I just ran through it. Let's face it, I'm a guy and we don't read directions till later. It wasn't until I was interested in exactly what the drills were that I picked up the directions. And my experience with the system, rock solid. It has never glitched or let me down. It did its job so that I could do mine. I've even tweaked the programs a little to add hits to make the strings a little bit longer, which in turn adds a little more stress because I'm a little bit more tired for pulling that trigger at the end of a string, especially after I just got off a rowing machine. Look, no tool is magically going to make you a marksman overnight, but the Arena's brutally honest feedback might come as close as it gets. It doesn't flatter your ego or hand out fake dopamine. It tells you precisely where you're at and where you're slipping. If you're new to dry fire, this builds discipline with immediate real feedback. For experienced shooters like myself, forces decisions, timing, and control. After coming back from a long layoff, this is the most honest training system that I've used yet. I was already running drills with the Sure Strike mag. It's laser ammo's practice mag with built-in reset, a real trigger press, and no more racking the slide. But getting that dialed in, it took some trial, a few errors, and a couple of conversations with the tech support team. I'll tell you about that experience in another video. Let's say I was surprised that I got to test your tech support, and I was, well, surprised at what I found. But you're gonna have to see that video to find out more. Most dry fire setups teach you to look busy. This one makes you think, react, and adjust. If you're serious about reclaiming your skills and rebuilding your mindset, you need to train with purpose, and the i-MTTS Arena does exactly that. It didn't just show me what I lost, it gave me the path to get it back. So if you're on the same path, this might be the tool that helps you turn the corner. If you're watching on YouTube, click that video right there. That video is how I used to use airsoft to put in the reps and then clean up afterwards. For everyone else, there's a link down below. Train, build, reclaim. Welcome to the Rogue Nation.